Welcome to a journey of wellness where traditional medicine meets holistic healing. Discover how these innovative treatments can empower you and reclaim your health and vitality. Together, we'll explore a path where achieving your optimal well-being is just a consultation away. Tell us more about holistic healing, integrative medicine. We have Doc Cignal Dalman and Doc Ryan-Dalman, both integrative medical doctors. Thank you very much for joining us. It's a beautiful day.
Thank you for having us here.
All right, so we did you a favor by not using your whole names.
Yeah.
We didn't want to seem like we were getting mad at you to start out with. But Doc Cignal, we'll start out with you first, because when you hear the term integrative medicine, it's a bit different. It might be unfamiliar to some people.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Integrative medicine is just from the term, you integrate a lot of different types of medicine. So we started out as medical doctors talaga. So we graduated from medical school, and then afterwards, we were able to explore the other types of medicine. So there's traditional Chinese medicine, there's Ayurvedic medicine, and we also have our local herbal medicine in the Philippines. So when we see a patient, when we treat a patient, we try to integrate the different types of medical practices that we've learned over the years.
And of course, Doc Ryan, when you talk about all of that, you mentioned the traditional Chinese medicine, you mentioned traditional Filipino medicine. Is there any pushback with regards to that? Because some people might think that, okay, when you talk about traditional medicine, it might not be as effective as, let's say, conventional medicine. But when people approach you with that type of thought, what's your response typically?
Well, I don't want to call it really pushback. It's more of this, they're just not aware that we exist, that the practice exists. And they're not aware that there are actually something that they can do to make themselves feel better, be stronger, and still, guided by medical principles.
Doc, like earlier before the show, we were talking about it. I think it's so interesting that you mentioned that integrative / holistic medicine is more of a preventative / lifestyle change. Can you expound more about that instead of, treating the area?
Yeah, well, at the core of our practice, what we want are for all of our patients to be healthier, to be stronger. We want to optimize their health. Because the tendency of modern medicine nowadays, they treat sick people. Their goal is to not make people feel sick or to make them not sick. But being not sick and being healthy are two different things.
Right.
The goal in our practice is to make sure that people are stronger and that they can live longer with a better quality of life.
Yeah, so in other words, stop them from getting sick in the first place.
That's right.
Doc Cignal, a lot of people do resort to taking pills for certain ailments or for preventive measures as well. But then your approach is a bit different, more natural to say.
Yes.
Is that the right way to go about it?
I think when we look at the patient, our goal, of course, initially, for example, if you have high blood pressure, we're really going to give you medications because you cannot live on with your day with high blood pressure. So we want you to normalize the blood pressure, but at the same time, we want your body to be optimized. So when we say optimized, you have to make sure that every single cell at the cellular level, everything is working. So we give you also the proper diet, good supplements, lifestyle modifications. We tell you what time you should sleep, what time is the workout should be, and all of that. So it's really a combination of different things. Now we prescribe pills as well, but it's not in form of, we do give medications at times, but we try to minimize it. We try to go the more natural route, meaning the optimization of your body route. So we give vitamins, minerals. If we can resort to herbal meds first, we do that. And then if that route doesn't, take effect well, we go just what you call the traditional or more Western approach.
Yeah.
You can see on our screens, actually, Paolo and I visited and we tried some of those holistic approaches. And I was really shocked actually with the acupuncture because I have knee issues and it helped actually a lot. The week after, I feel like it released a lot of the pressure. And Paolo, I think you also had some foot issues, correct?
Yeah, for a plantar fasciitis. Yeah, and it's anyone who's going through plantar fasciitis, I feel you. Grabe. It's another level. But then, Doc Ryan, we were actually talking about that a while ago. When you refer to acupuncture and Chinese medicine, when you start using ancient Chinese medicine to treat physical ailments like that, just what do you feel are some of the benefits that people don't necessarily know about or people are not aware of as an option with regards to treating some of these?
Okay, in acupuncture and Chinese medicine, actually, in our practice, it's mainly for symptomatic relief.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which it worked.
Yes, for symptomatic relief. For anything that's deeper, we combine not just the Chinese medicine principle, but also the other integrative medicine principles, such as Candy mentioned, we have to correct the lifestyle. Like, for example, a specific case for you, the plantar fasciitis. Of course, we do the acupuncture, but what else did we talk about? We talked about your footwear.
Yeah.
Diba? Like your activities.
Yeah.
Like, we make sure that your footwear is good, there's much support. When you run, you have to make sure that the type of shoes that you're wearing is really for running.
Right.
Yeah.
If you're standing up all the time, you have to have proper arch support.
Yeah.
Okay. And at the same time, aside from that one, we also discussed some things that you can take to bring down the inflammation.
Yeah.
And then the other things that you can do to bring down the inflammation as well, like putting it in a warm bath, Epsom salt baths, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's really a combination of everything.
Yeah, so actually we're showing a footage right now of my exposed
yeah.
Oh,
back.
that's you.
Yeah, I did not expect that to be shown.
That's a sexy back.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. But Doc Candy, we're also showing their IV treatment
drips,
as well.
yeah.
And of course, when you take those vitamins and obviously that type of treatment intravenously, you mentioned it's not necessarily to treat any specific
yes.
sickness. It's there to help prevent. What's the benefit of taking that type of medicine on via IV instead of, let's say, pills over a certain amount of time?
So when you take anything orally, it goes through the stomach, goes through a first pass effect. So when you're taking in, let's say, a vitamin C, 500 milligrams, you don't exactly absorb 500 milligrams. So it's like just 250 or even 100. It depends on how your gut is, depends on the absorption of the vitamin. So the healthier the gut, the more you'll be able to absorb these things. So if you don't have a healthy gastrointestinal system, you're not going to be able to absorb a lot of the nutrients that you're taking in. So doing an IV makes sure that you get 100% of your nutrients. The drips that we do are very specific, so depending on what your issues are. So we have some for anti-inflammatory to help boost your immune system. So we do customized drips for our patients as well if we think that they do have like certain deficiencies in their system.
And speaking of gut, Doc, I know another approach to holistic medicine or therapy that you guys offer is a colon cleanse.
Ah, yes.
And that one's very natural. Unfortunately, Paolo and I could not try that because we just ate.
That time,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, too bad
So
we
you guys
ate.
have to come back for it.
I will. We definitely will, and I know Anne does. But I know when you say colon cleanse, people kind of get taken aback.
Yes.
'cause
Especially guys.
Especially
we got a lot of
guys.
space right
Yes.
now. Yeah, could you talk more about it and why it's important? And I heard you guys should do it weekly as well.
Yes. So
Weekly?
Yeah, weekly.
Initially,
Initially, it depends.
it
All right,
depends,
all right.
yeah.
It depends.
So the colon cleanse that we do, it's like, I'm sure you've heard of coffee enemas.
Yes.
So some people do it at home. So coffee enemas, they're not just for the colon actually. So it's the caffeine or the other ingredients in the coffee that triggers your liver to produce more glutathione. It helps with the detoxification part of the liver. It also helps your gallbladder contract better. Okay, so that's one of the effects. So it's not just for like releasing a lot of the stool that we need to get out.
Yeah.
That's part of it. That's the number one thing. But also it helps with the overall detoxification as well.
Actually, bowel movement is one of the things that are not very often asked in the clinics. But it's really, really important because we release 75% of the toxins in our body via pooping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
if you
yeah.
don't poop every day,
That's right.
imagine.
Oh,
diba?
wow.
And even if you move your bowels every day, you know that feeling that after moving your bowels,
It's still there.
you know that there's something inside, but
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
something
yeah.
outside.
That happens
It
a
means
lot.
that the quality of your bowel movement is not very good.
Oh
Wow,
my
good luck.
gosh.
That's where we
Up
can
and
help
On
you.
my way to my colon cleanse.
Yes.
'Cause,
Yes.
I mean, that sounds like me because when you release it, right, like you feel like there's still stuff in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I feel like my gut is not healthy. So would you guys recommend probiotic? Is that
Yeah.
part of a holistic approach, or is that more traditional medicine?
It's being integrated into the traditional medicine already. We've been talking to gastroenterologists that do prescribe probiotics. So the type of probiotic also very, very much depends on your lifestyle and where you live, because our gut microbiome it differs when we are in a different part of the world, because the diets are different. If you have a very Western diet, you're gonna be the probiotics in your gut is gonna be very different. So yeah, we actually recommend taking probiotics on a regular basis, especially for those who've taken like antibiotics over the past few months.
Right.
And also there's such a thing as digestive enzymes that will help break down the food in your gut, and that will help you absorb more of the nutrients that you're taking in.
Yeah,
orally.
you know, Doc Kenny, Doc Ryan, I wish we had more time. I had so many more questions. I want to talk about
Same.
glucosa. I want to talk about more detox.
Yeah.
But for those who are more interested in learning more about holistic medicine, integrative medicine, how can they reach out to you? How can they avail of their services? And of course, could you let us all know how can they experience what we experience and maybe try weekly colon cleanses as
Yes.
well?
We'll be there next week for the
Yes.
So Doc Kenny, can you take it away?
Yeah, so we are from Centro Holistico. So we have 5 branches throughout the metro right now. So we have in Alabang, Pasig, Quezon City, BGC, and in Makati, in Rockwell.
We also have a website. You can visit us at www.centroholisticoph.com.
We're also all over social media. Just look for Centro Holistico.
Centro Holistico.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a fun experience, and of course something that we're learning more about each and every time.
Yeah, I'll
Again,
never forget it.
Yeah,
Very
and
excited
so
for you
much.
guys.
we're done. I don't think we're done.
not
Yeah,
done.
We're not done. Okay, thank you very much for joining us, Doc Kenny, Doc Ryan. Really appreciate you, and hopefully we can have you again soon.
Yeah, we
Thank
learned
you.
so much.
Thank you for having us.
you.